Very well, thank you. We may proceed.
Moses Mpofu. Chainda Ramberi in Shona.
You are reminded that you are still bound by the oath. Cross-examination by the state.
My Lord, if I may ascertain whether the press is ready, because I am being told that there's no feed from my office.
There's no?
They are not receiving any. They are not following. I don't know whether they are.
Oh, who do I talk to? Who is in charge? Are we ready? Yes.
I see. Mr. Mpofu, good afternoon.
Maskati Wababauti.
Yes, last time the way we ended was when you said you would see payments made. You used to see reports of payments for expenses. And last time we were talking about the NASA issue in particular. The NASA certificate.
Certificate NASA. That is true.
Now, evidence has been adduced to the effect that your company, Blackdeck Private Limited, was deregistered from NASA system with effective from the 8th of January 2016. And from that day, it never paid any dues.
Umboka hwakabuda muno mumatare uchiratidza kuti mimi kambani yenyu yeBlackdeck Private Limited yanga isisiri kuregister kunasa yakapedzisira kuregister muna 2016 ndo payakapedzisira kubhadhira mari dzenasa.
Hongu ndakanzwa zvichitaura asi maybe ipapo nanchida clarification kuti tiri kutaura takamira papi.
I heard that being said in court, but I need a clarification pertaining that again.
The context of the evidence from NASA was that in order to get a NASA compliance certificate, one was supposed to be up to date with the dues.
Zvikunzika kuti munhu ange ane certificate recompliance rekunasa anofanira kunge akabhadhara mari dzese dzinodiwa.
And it was then noted by NASA in this court that Blackdeck Private Limited had deregistered with effect from the 8th of January 2016, meaning that it was never active within the NASA system.
Umbo hwakaburiswa muno newekunasa mudare hwakaratidza kuti kambani yenyu yeBlackdeck Private Limited yakapedzisira kuregister muna musi wa8 January 2016 zvichiratidza kuti yanga isisiri kubhadhira mari kubva ipapo.
Ndopa nanchiti kune pandoda clarification kuti ndikwanise kuti ndikupindure izvi zere andanomuka ndivhomidza.
That is where I said I need a clarification so that I can answer you satisfactorily if you may grant me the opportunity.
But what clarification are you seeking?
Mukuda kujekiserwa papi chaipo.
Yeah, tichipedzisa nyaya iyi ndakaverengerwa naadvocate Vatswetero uyezve ini ndozvinzwisisa kuti mhosva yangu yakamira sei.
To conclude the issue, Mr. Jetero read to me and I appreciate the nature of my case.
I've said, what clarification are you seeking in relation to the question that I've just posed to you about your company Blackdeck being deregistered with effect from the 8th of January 2016?
Kukubvunzwa kana vamushuchisi kuti mimi kujekeserwa kwamuri kuda ndekwei pamubvunzo wamabva kubvunzwa kawe kuti kambani yenyu yeBlackdeck Private Limited yakapedzisira kuregister kunasa musi wa8 January 2016.
Pandikuda kuchekesa vamabva kuti ndepekuti tikutaura pari zvino mukutaura nezve-Black Deck Private Limited. Pachaji yangu muri kuti ndakashandisa kambani inonzi Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming iri non-existent.
I need to seek a clarification on the fact that here, right now, you are discussing with me about Black Deck Private Limited. Yet on the charge, you were saying that I was using Black Deck livestock and poultry farming, which is non-existent.
Mr. Mpofu, answer the question. You don't need to be analytical to things. I'm just asking a very simple question. Was Black Deck Private Limited deregistered with effect from the 8th of January 2016?
Black Deck Private Limited yanga isina kuregister kunasa kumswa 8 January 2016.
Izvozvo handizvizive nekuti inini ndansiri panze handina information yakafana neiyo.
I do not know that. I was not out of custody and I do not have such kind of information.
When the witness from NASA told this court that fact that it was deregistered with effect from the 8th of January 2016, that was not challenged.
Mufakazi wekunasa pakauya munomudare achitaura kuti kampani yenyu yakapisira kuregistrwa nenasa musi wa8 January 2016. Izvozvo zvacho kazvaakataura mufakazi hazvina kumbopikiswa.
Ndodzokera zvakare vamapauti, with all due respect, Black Deck Private Limited haina kuchajwa haisi represented panapa, haina munhu akaimiririra, saka haina kutaurwa nezvayo, ndosaka isina kuvhumiwa nyaya iyoyo kana kuti kuramba.
Black Deck Private Limited does not have a representative here. That is why it was not challenged.
Mr. Mpofu, you are legally represented. If there was anything wrong with that question, your lawyer would have objected.
Mpofu, makamirirwa negweta kana pane zvisina kumira zvakanaka pamubvunzo wamabvunzo uyu, gweta renyu richange rizokubatsira.
No, that's not what I said. I'm saying he's legally represented, and if there's anything wrong with a question that has been put to him, the lawyer will object. His lawyer will object.
Makamirwa kane gweta renyu kana pane zvakashata pamubvunzo wamabvunzwa zvinonzwa negweta renyu hazvina kumira mushe zvavangada kupikisa vachange vachizokwanisa kupikisa.
So when your lawyer does not stand up to object, you are expected to answer the question.
Saka kana gweta renyu rikasasimuka kuti ringe richipikisa zvabvunzwa navamuchuchisi, imimi wacho munofanira kunge muchipindura.
But you can choose not to answer if that is your answer. But I'm just advising you that whenever a question is put to you which is clear, and your lawyer your counsel has not objected, then you should answer the question. It's in your interest.
Imimo zvakare munogona kusava kupindura mubvunzo iwoyo, asiwo kana gweta renyu risina kunge rapikisana nawo, kana muchida kupindura munokwanisa kupindura.
You understand? It's either you answer or you don't.
Pane zviviri
But the court expects you to answer.
Kana kuti mupindure henyu mubvunzo wacho.
Ndazvinzwisisa.
I understood.
So answer the question.
Saka chipindura henyu mubvunzo uyu. You may take that question again.
I asked you.
Sorry, let me just read the question. The question was, Black Deck had been deregistered on the 8th of January 2016. It was no longer active. It was no longer paying money to NASA. And what is your answer to that?
Mubvunzo kawati company Black Deck Private Limited yanga isisina kuregister kunasa kwemusi wa8 January 2016. Yanga isisiri kubhadhara mari dzekunasa. Mubvunzo mhinduro yenyu ndeyekuti chii?
Inini nyaya iyoyo ndakainzwira muno mudare ichitaurwa nevanhu venasa. Otherwise, inini handina ruzivo nazvo.
I came to know of the issue when it was said by people from NASA here in court. I do not have any information pertaining that.
No. Earlier on in your last time in your evidence in chief, you told this court that Black Deck was in compliance. It was paying its dues, and you would see the reports that such payments were being paid in your meetings as directors. And you further said it was up to date, up to 2021.
muno mudarika pamaipa umbo makati mimi kambani yenyu yeBlack Deck yaibhadhara mari dzayo yanga isina zvikwereti kunasa maitomboona maripots acho ekubhadharwa kwemari idzodzo kusvika mugore ra2021.
ichokwadi
That is correct.
ndokuti inini kuti haina yakadirejistwa handisingazvizivi ndakazvizivira mudare muno.
I'm saying that I did not know that it was deregistered. I only came to know of it here in court.
So why did you not challenge the men from NASA that the company had been deregistered? Because you knew that your company was paying its dues as statutorily required in relation to the NASA payments.
Saka kane mhaka yei musina kuzvipikisa muno mudare pazvaitaurwa nevanhu vekunasa kuti kakambani yenyu yange isina zvikwereti yaibhadhara mari sezvinodiwa nemitemo inoona nezvekubhadharwa kwemari yekunasa.
Sorry? Repeat the interpretation.
Saka nemhaka yei kamusina kuzvipikisa muno mudare kuti mimi kambani yenyu yaibhadhara mari yekunasa pazvakataurwa muno mudare nemufakazi wekunasa.
Inini manzwiro andainzwa ndiri muno mudare muno makweta aigara achitaura kuti Black Deck Private Limited haisi pamberi pedare iri uyezve havangataurire zveBlack Deck Private Limited vari kutaura zvaMoses Mpofu.
What I heard from the lawyers is that Black Deck Private Limited is not supposed to be in discussion here in court when people are talking about Moses Mpofu.
We have heard that. Can you answer the question now?
Izvozvo tazvinzwa munokwanisa here kupindura mubvunzo.
Ndofunga hazvina kuchallenjwa pamusana pekuti Black Deck Private Limited yacho haisi pamberi pedare rino iri.
I think it was not challenged because Black Deck Private Limited is not before the court.
And uye Black Deck Private Limited haisi Moses Mpofu. Nyaya yandauyira panapa semanzwisiro andaita nyaya yangu ndiri pano padare saMoses Mpofu kwete seBlack Deck representative.
Black Deck Private Limited is not Moses Mpofu. I'm here in court as Moses Mpofu, not a representative from Black Deck Private Limited.
Correct that you told this court that you were the managing director for Black Deck Private Limited.
Ndizvo here kuti mimi makaudza dare rinoka kuti ndimi maiva managing director weBlack Deck Private Limited.
Nanhasi nditori managing director
I'm
weBlack Deck
still the managing director up to now.
So as the managing director of Black Deck, you know, you should be in a position to answer those questions.
Saka kasava managing director weBlack Deck Private Limited, munokwanisa kakuziva kwanisa kupindura mibvunzo.
ndotenda nemubvunzo iwoyo wamabhauti.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Proprietor.
ndokuda kudzokera mashure nechidimbu. Inini ndakataura kanodarika ka5 kuti ndiri managing director weBlack Deck Private Limited responsible for projects implementation. Black Deck Private Limited ina director we-finance and administration are responsible ne-compliance and ma-finances at Black Deck.
I think I mentioned it for the 5th time that I'm a managing director for Black Deck Private Limited who is responsible for implementation. And there's also another managing director responsible for finances.
Finance and administration director.
Now, you were not truthful before this court when you said Black Deck was up to date with its NASA payments that you said you would see. Yet it turned out that it had been deregistered in January 2016.
Imimi kama ngamusiri kureva chokwadi pamberi pedare pamakataura pakuti Black Deck Private Limited yanga ichibhadhara mari dzayo dzekunasa, imi muchiziva zveni kuti yanga yakadirejistwa isisina kurejistwa muna 2016.
Inini sema-reports ekuBlack Deck Private Limited andaiona ndaiziva kuti Black Deck Private Limited iri-registered neNASA.
From the reports that I was seeing from Black Deck Private Limited, I saw that Black Deck Private Limited was registered with NASA.
Now that it was brought before this honorable court that with effect from the January 2016, no payments were received from Black Deck, and you had given this court the impression that it was up to date and you'd see such payments. Can you reconcile the two?
tichitarisaka kuti zvakazobuda muno mudare kuti Black Deck Private Limited yakaderegister muna January wegore ra 2016. Imimi muno mudare manga mazivisa kadare kuti Black Deck Private Limited yaibhadhara mari dzayo dzese dzekunasa munokwanisa here kuchitsanangurira dare?
Ini ndakataura maererano nezvandinoziva asi harisi department rangu. Miss hazvinei kabisira wamakati imimi ndichikuudzai kuti ari responsible naizvozvo mukati am throwing under the bus ndivo vari responsible nedepartment iroro.
I explained it here in court that I do not know
kuti Miss hazvinei kabisira anova iye one of the directors weBlack Deck Private Limited ari responsible nema-issues e-finance and administration and nyaya ye-NASA ne-Zimra falls under a department.
I explained here in court that Ms. Ajne Kabisira is the one who is responsible for the finances of Black Deck Private Limited, and the issues of NASA falls under her.
So why did you tell this court that you saw payments towards NASA, yet the company, it turned out it was deregistered? You said you saw the expenditure, payments in respect of NASA.
Nemakaeka makaudza dare kuti mimi maitoona ma-reports ekubhadharwa kwemari dzaishandiswa dzekunasa.
Ma-reports ndakamaona, ma-reports ndinomaona, but report ini ndikaiona ichiti kune mari dzabhadharwa kunasa nekana kuzimra ndotora sekuti mari yakabhadharwa.
I saw the reports, and if the reports indicate that there was money which was paid to NASA or Zimra, I would take it that the money was paid.
Now, why did your company look for an expert in order to get a compliance certificate from NASA?
Nemakai company yenyu yakatsvaga munhu an expert kuti anga atikwanisa kutsvaga certificate recompliance kubva kunasa.
Iwoyo mubvunzo ndoudzosera zvakare ma-directors eBlack Deck Private Limited, especially the director responsible for that department. I-discretion yake yekuchuza kuti anozvifambisa sei.
I'll take the question to the Black Deck Private Limited directors who are responsible for that department, and they're the ones who know what to do with the.
Do you know why an expert was secured by Black Deck Private Limited to get a compliance certificate?
Mungaziva here kuti nemhaka pakatsvagwa mazvikokota kuti akwanise neBlack Deck Private Limited kuti akwanise kuwana certificate recompliance rekunasa.
Izvozvo ndoziva kuti always even pakufomwa kweBlack Deck Private Limited yakafomwa nema-agents. Always Black Deck Private Limited yaishandisa ma-agents akasiyana siyana.
I know that when the company Black Deck Private Limited was formed, it was formed through agents, and the Black Deck Private Limited was using main agents.
Answer the question, Mr. Mpofu. You don't come up with your own question that you answer. Answer my question. Why was an expert secured to get a compliance certificate from NASA?
Pindurai mubvunzo nemhaka pakatsvagwa mazvikokota kuti akwanise kuwana certificate recompliance kubva kunasa.
Because ndo choice yakaitwa neBlack Deck kuti ishandise.
Because that was a Black Deck choice.
Was it necessary to get an expert where the compliance certificate could easily be secured, just like a bank statement from a ATM?
Zvaiva here zvakakodzera kuti mukwanise kuwana mazvikokota iro certificate raingokwanisa kuwanikwawo sekuwanikwa kunongoitwawo mastatements ekubank.
Iwoyo mubvunzo wamabhauti ndodzokera inini am not qualified in finance and administration. Saka zvinoda vari qualified nenyaya idzodzo aipindura kuti indava vakaingenja in expert.
I'm not qualified in the finance and administration. That question requires an expert in that department.
Mr. Mpofu, you have been in custody since the 26th of June 2014. Are you telling me you did not make an effort to ascertain why an expert was required? Where a report could easily be obtained in the comfort of your office?
Mpofu, mangama mukatika meusungwa kubva muna June 2014. Nemhaka yemusinowa kuti bvunzo kuti nemhaka pakatsvagwa mazvikokota iyeye.
Ndofunga pane pakusanzwisisana mbichana vamabhauti. I remember mukoti munomu kuchitaurwa kunzi tese toziva Emirates offices kuti iri papi kana Ethiopian Airways iri papi, asi ma-air tickets nanhasi vanhu vanotenga through ma-agents. Saka inini naturally I think ivo vakadecide kuti vafambise nyaya yavo seiyoyo vanoziva vemudepartment iroro.
I think there's somewhere where I'm not getting you well. It was said here in court that each of us knows where the Emirates offices are, but we buy our air tickets through agents. I think the people who are responsible for that department are the best people to answer that.
So, is it your position as a director that money would be spent by your company in securing an expert, in securing a certificate that could easily be obtained in the comfort of your office?
Mukuzama rekuzadari kuti mari yakashandiswa nekambani yenyu kuti ikwanise kutsvaga mazvikokota anokwanisa kuwana certificate iroro ramunongokwanisa kungowana chero muri muhofisi menyu zviri nyore.
Right. Sorry vamabhauti, handidi kuita kunga ndisi kupindura mubvunzo wenyu zvizere, asi ndoda kudzoka mbichana zvakare. Mukatarisa the Finance and Administration Director weBlackTech Private Limited, anova the majority shareholder weBlackTech Private Limited, ari qualified munyaya dzinoenderana nefinance, administration and compliance. Inini I'm not qualified ipapo vamabhauti. My duty, inini by the way handina unyanyodzidza vamabhauti, ndiri munhu wemusango. Implementation mukuita kwema-projects mukandibvunza zvizere neizvozvo ndogona kupindura zvakanaka.
If I may take your back, the person who is responsible for that is the person responsible for finance and administration. I'm not qualified as myself to be doing that. I did not have a high education. As you can see, I'm responsible for implementation.
And the munhu majority shareholder weBlackTech Private Limited.
That person is the majority shareholder of BlackTech Private Limited.
And 90% of shares.
She holds 90% shares.
Let's not go there, Mr. Mpofu. We have already established the relationship of directors.
Uyedza kuchekesera imama bauti kuti nyaya dzemagwaro eBlackTech Private Limited musarambe muchindibvunza izvozvo. Akuzi kwangu, please.
To clarify it to you, Mr. Prosecutor, that you're not supposed to be asking me questions pertaining some documents.
Munondi-exposa kusadzidza kwangu.
That was not my...
Nondipedza vamabhauti. Endai uko.
You finish me up, Mr. Mabauti.
Very well. You realize something? You are addressing the State Council as Mr. Mabauti. The interpreter says State Council. She's actually trying to guide you. You don't refer to him by his name. He's State Council.
I'm sorry, my lord.
Now, Mr. Mpofu, I put it to you that you knew that...
Maybe he's also addressing you as Mr. Mabauti because you're calling him by name. Just call him accused. Accused one.
I didn't want to traumatize him by accused.
You see the response now. It's becoming your personal conversation. So I suggest that just refer to him as accused.
Now, accused, listen. I put it to you that you were aware that BlackTech Private Limited did not qualify to get a compliance certificate.
Musungoti akuzvisa kwamuri kuti mimi maizviziva kuti BlackTech Private Limited yanga isina kukodzera kuti ikwanise kuwana certificate recompliance.
Handizvizive, ndandisingazvizivi.
I did not know that.
Nanhasi handizvizivi.
And up to now, I do not know.
Who is the expert that was secured by your company?
Ndiani konyanzvi yakatsvagwa nekambani yenyu?
Nyanzvi iyi ndichapindura ndichida iso vamuchuchisi. Nyanzvi ndakazoiziva nyaya yatanga.
I came to know this expert when this trial commenced.
Because chido changu chachiri chekushedza nyanzvi iyoyo. And
answer the question.
My wish was to call the expert.
Accused, answer the question. Who was the expert?
Mubvunzo wati
if you don't know him, say so.
zita renyanzvi ndogona kusarirangarira asi ririmo mumapepa angu defense outline.
I may not remember or recall the name of the expert, but it is in my defense papers.
You mean defense outline?
Defense outline.
Yes.
Proceed.
From which company was he coming from?
Nyanzvi yaibva kucompany ipi?
Nyanzvi company yayo inini handiizive uyezve nekuti nyanzvi haina kuingenjwa neni todzokera kudepartment riya riri responsible ndo ringazive zvizere.
I do not know the company where the expert was coming from, and I do not know the people who engage him are the ones who know where he was coming from.
Mr. Mpofu, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this trial?
Chaizvo vamabhauti asi muri kundibvunza zveblack deck mawandira kublack deck private limited yamakaramba nchikuudzai kuti it's a registered company. Nhasi mauya machinja maikoko moboti it's non-registered entity. Nhasi muri kufamba nayo black deck private limited here. Handichatonzwisisi. I'm confused ipo panapa mukutondivhiringidza
I'm ready for the trial, but I'm a bit confused, State Council. You're dwelling much on the issue of black deck, which I said was a registered company, and you disapproved of it. But today you are dwelling much on black deck.
Kana zvangu zvekuti ndakaita izvi neizvi hamusati vapinda vamabhauti munyaya yamangandisungira muri kublack deck private limited kwama musingade kunzwa nezvako.
I see today you are highly excitable. Now, in your defense outline, you did not divulge the identity of your expert. You said there's no page. You said on last page, but one under F, where you said representative of the consultant. You said accused will subpoena a representative of the consultant who will corroborate the evidence of the above cited witness. But you did not mention that consultant, the name of the consultant, and also the
May I have a look at the copy?
You did not even the firm from which the consultant was coming from. You did not mention.
Pane panoda kuti muverenge vamabhauti.
Yes, read it.
There's a portion that I may want you to read for me.
Pane pari kutaurwa kunzi he approached one Kundai Bwanya, a representative of a consultancy company whom he believes obtained and processed the tax clearance and NASA certificates for Black Deck Private Limited. Saka zita remunhu iye consultant riripo.
The name of the consultant is there.
Sorry, what paragraph is it? Which paragraph?
You are reading paragraph under the statement of Vusumuzi Mpofu. Paragraph 2 of Vusumuzi Mpofu's summary of evidence.
Wait.
Now, in that paragraph you are saying, the paragraph is saying that Vusumuzi Mpofu approached one Kundai Buganya, a representative of a consultants company, who he believes obtained and processed the Zimra tax clearance and NASA certificate for Black Dick Private Limited.
Pachikami chika parikunzi iye Vusumuzi Mpofu akanoona mumiririri weconsultants company anonzi kudzai
Kundai Buganya.
Kundai Buganya anofungidzira kuti ndiye akagadzirisa mapepa ekuzimra.
Where is this Kundai Buganya coming from? Which consultants?
Uyu Kundai Buganya ari kubva kuconsultants ipi?
Ndiziye ndosaka ndisina kuinyora ipapo.
I do not know the consultants. That is why I did not write it on the book.
Was he paid for his services?
Akabhadharwa here kuita basa rake.
Black Dick Private Limited inobhadharira zvese zvainoitirwa, saka akabhadharwa sekubhadharwa kunoita vanhu.
Private Limited pays for all its workers, and that he was paid for the services he rendered.
You are going to call this Kundai Buganya as your witness?
Muchange muchideedzera iye kudzai Buganya.
Or rather, is it the one that you were referring to in paragraph F, that representative of the consultant that accused will subpoena a representative of the consultant who will corroborate the evidence of the above cited witnesses?
Kana kuti ndiye here wamakataura muchiti mimi muchange muchideedza mufakazi achange achizotsigirana neumbo hwenyu.
Ichokwadi.
Yes, that is correct.
You are also going to call Azvine Kabisira?
Muchange zvakare muchidaidza Azvine Kabisira.
Izvozvo zvakudhipenda nemafambiro enyaya. Manzwiro andikuita pari zvino andione ndichiwashedza because taenda kuBlack Dick Private Limited.
That will depend on the unfolding of the case. From what is before me in court, I do not see me arraigning them here in court because we are now focusing on Black Dick.
But don't worry, we'll get everywhere where you are interested in. But in the meantime, you are saying a consultant was hired, and therefore the books of Black Dick should reflect payment which was made to the consultants that secured the certificate of compliance in respect of the NASA certificate.
Pari zvino muri kuti kapana mazvikokota akadanwa kubasa kwenyu kuti anga achikwanisawo kukupai certificate recompliance rekunasa.
Right, vamapauti. Maybe kwekupedzisira vamuchuchisa, sorry, vamuchuchisa. Ndandichikumbira mundibatsire panapa. Inini ndakamira panapa. Andina kumirira Black Dick Private Limited 1.
If you noted, State Council, that I'm not representing Black Dick Private Limited.
Because Black Dick Private Limited is one of its directors. Ndoziya mafambiro ainoita. Inini andina mandate. Andina any affidavit or authority kuti ndimirire Black Dick Private Limited pana.
In Black Dick Private Limited, I do not have a mandate to represent Black Dick Private Limited in court.
So that's why I was asking whether you are going to call Azvine, that whose evidence that you summarized.
Ndo saka kamanga muchivhunza kuti muchadaidzere mufakazi anonzi Azvinei uye ane umbo wamanga muchitsanangura mumagwaro enyu.
You said you call Azvine Kabisira.
Makati kamuchadaidza Azvinei Kabisira.
Vamuchuchisa mapepa aya defense outline ndakamanyora nemagweta I think 6 days or 3 days before trial yatanga.
I think I drafted my defense outline together with my lawyers 6 days before the trial commenced.
Saka nemafambiro aita trial inoi andione pane kodzero rekuti ndishedze Azvinei Kabisira Vusumuzi Mpofu, but ndogona kuenderera zvangu mberi pane nyaya ya consultant. Pakuti consultant even ndaida kumushedza consultant ndakazonzwa ndiri muusungwa muno kuti akashayika.
What is the translation?
Is he late or he can't be found?
Where did you
I
hear
heard he's late from what
where
I...
did you hear
From
that?
how the matter, from how the matter is unfolded, I do not see it necessary to bring those witnesses to court. I would have preferred to bring the consultants to court, but from what I heard whilst I was in custody, I heard that the consultant had passed on.
Kundai Bwanya is now dead.
Yes,
Akashaya
that's what I
Kundai
heard.
So if one goes to the registry, or your lawyers are going to bring his notice of death or his death certificate, if you want the assistance of the court of the state, then you can be assisted in securing his notice of death from the registry office.
Kana kuri kuti akashaya magweta enyu anokwanisa here kuenda kure kwenge abatsirwa nawana muchuchisi kuti vange vachikwanisawo kuendawo kumahofisi ezvitupa nemapepa ekuzvarwa kuti vanokwanisawo kuuya kane gwaro rinoratidzawo kuti uyu akashaya kana kuti gwaro rekufa kwake.
Kana zvichibatsira state,
If it
munogona
will be
kuzviita.
of any help to the state,
Yes, it will
we
be very
will
helpful.
proceed and do that.
Now,
But hakusi kubatsira inini,
You won't be assisting me.
ndo zvandoda kuchekesa.
That is what I want to clarify.
Asi kana zvichibatsira imimi sestate, aiwa munoenderera mberi.
If it is of any help to you as the state, you may proceed.
no. This is your witness. That you say he is late. Don't you want to produce the evidence before the court that the witness that you intended to call is now late?
Uyu kamufakazi wenyu wamuri kuudza pamberi pedare kuti akashaya. Hamukwanisire kuti munge muchiburisa pamberi pedare kuti mufakazi uyu akashaya muchiri kuburisa gwaro rake rekushaya.
If you can secure that proof, then the state can help you in securing it.
Imimi kana musingakwanisi kuburitsa umbo ihwohwo vamuchuchisi vanokwanisa kukuburitsai kukubatsirai kuburitsa umbo ihwohwo hwekushaya kwemufakazi.
That could Zaibganya is now late.
Hwekuti kakudzaibwanya vamushakava.
Aizo no problem nazvo.
I do not have any issues with that.
Now, you said he was working for which company?
Mati aishandira company.
Maybe someone from his company could come, from his consultants.
Mumwewo munhu kubva kucompany kwake ikoko anogonawo kuuya kana kubva kuconsultancy iyo anogona kuuya.
Ndataura one, inini kondaibhanya handisati ndambomuona handimzivi. Two, kuti anoshandira consult.
From what I had said in court, I had never perceived Kudzaibwanya and I do not know the name of his consultant.
So who had since told you that he is now late?
Saka akakuudzai kuti Kudzaibwanya akashaded by my legal counsel. That is the truth.
Now,
Angana nempa Zimra certificate.
you never told the Zimra, the witness from Zimra, that Black Deck Private Limited was entitled to get the certificate because it was up to date with its dues.
Imimi kama munambobvira makaudzawo vanhu vekuzimura kuti kambani yeBlack Deck Private Limited yaikwanisa kuwana certificate nechikonzero chekuti yanga isina zvikwereti.
Semapinduriro andamboita paya, nyaya yeBlack Deck Private Limited amene undoramba chivitsokorodza here mama pauti because muri kutsokorodza inini I'm forced kuti nditsokorodzewo kuti tinzwanane.
I am forced to repeat myself over and over again pertaining the issue of Black Deck. Since you are also repeating.
Mr. Mpofu, I think your lawyer must have told you that the purpose of the court is not to follow what you say in your defense outline, but to investigate everything. And hence you are supposed to ask questions as they are presented to you.
Gweta renyu raifanira kunge rakakunyevererai kutiwo nyaya yekuva muno mudare inyaya yekuti hamutingoshandi nezvamakanyora magwaro enyu chete muchitsanangura zvamakanyora magwaro enyu asi kuti zvese zvinofanira kuongororwa zvine chekuita nenyaya.
So was in compliance with its requirements and hence it was entitled to get the certificate.
Imimi kama hamuna kumbobvira makaudza mufakazi wekuzimura kuti Black Deck yaifanira kunge ichiwana certificate iroro nechikonzero chekuti yanga
Kumbotaura nezvayo kana pamagwaro iwaya ndakuudzai kuti inini I'm not Black Deck Private Limited. Black Deck Private Limited haisi charged, handina mvumo wekutaura pamusana nezve Black Deck Private Limited.
I never mentioned about Black Deck Private Limited in my papers, and I do not have the capacity to represent Black Deck Private Limited as the person.
Unfortunately, Mr. I think maybe you did not get your proper advice. Black Deck, you are not representing Black Deck because Black Deck is not an accused before this court. So Black Deck cannot even have a representative. You are here because you were the managing director who knew that the papers which were secured in getting the tender were fraudulently obtained.
Black Deck has really...
My lord, I think my colleague is now deliberately mischaracterizing the charge that the accused person is facing. The charge that he is facing is not related to his directorship in Black Deck Private Limited. So he is trying to mislead the witness.
What is the basis of the objection?
He is mischaracterizing. He is misrepresenting the nature of the charges that the accused person is facing in this court. The accused is facing charges in his personal capacity, not as a representative of a company, because the issue is that the company is non-existent.
Which company?
We have a company that the state is proceeding on the basis that it is dealing with accused in his personal capacity because there is no company to talk of. Now they are saying he should have been advised that as a director of the company. Now which company? We do not know which company there is.
Are you saying that he cannot answer the question?
Yes, he cannot answer the question.
What is the question? What is the question that you have recorded?
Well, not recorded, but my...
so please record the questions so that you object from an informed position.
Well, my understanding is that he's saying your legal representative should have told you that as the director of the company.
Well, it's because your client is choosing to rephrase the question. Like I said to him, he must answer questions that are put to him unless you object to the question. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, he derailed the cross-examination because he raised new issues. We all know that Black Deck Private Limited is not charged here, and that is being charged personally. Whether or not that is correct, that is the issue that you'll address at the end of the trial.
Yeah.
So you must answer the question in his personal capacity. The question is, you never told the witness from Zimra that Black Deck Private Limited was entitled to a certificate because it was up to date with payments. And he didn't answer that question directly. The question was put again. That's what I've recorded here. So are you saying that he cannot answer that question?
No. That question I think he answered. The issue...
What is the answer that you recorded?
He said it's because I never talked about that company. I don't have authority to speak about that company. So the follow-up question was now...
so in other words, he's refusing to answer the question. You want us to record that?
No, his response can be taken as it is. That is because I never talked about that company. I don't have authority to speak about that company. So the witness is saying he has no authority from the company to represent it. So it can be recorded as it is, as he is putting it.
That he's refusing to answer that question because he has no authority to speak for Black Deck Private Limited.
Indeed.
Is that the response that you want us to record?
ndiyo here mhinduro yamuda kuti inyorwe pasi nedare kuti imi maramba kupindura mubvunzo iwoyu nechikonzero chekuti imi hamuna simba rekuti munge muchimirira kambani yeBlack Deck.
Yes, ndingaenderere nchiti.
Is that the answer that you want us to record?
ndiyo here mhinduro yamunoda kuti inyorwe pasi nedare. Yes.
He has refused to answer the question.
Yes. Well, if you are refusing to answer the question now, was Black Deck up to date with his dues for Zimra?
Black Deck yanga here yakabhadhara mari dzayo dzese dzekuzimura.
Which Black Deck?
Private Limited.
Private Limited.
Inini vamabva kuti kubva pari zvino inini zve-Black Deck Private Limited handikwanise kuzvipindura nekuti handina kuprepare trial yangu nedefense ndichitsvaga zvinhu zve-Black Deck Private Limited.
From now onwards, Mr. Prosecutor, I am not in a position to answer anything, any issues pertaining Black Deck Private Limited because I did not prepare my defense along those lines.
Ndauya pano
Your notice, Mr. Mapodi.
Sorry?
Your notice, you won't answer any questions relating to Black Deck Private Limited. Anyway,
Now
we
we are
record
pan-
that from now onwards I will not answer any
Any
questions
questions,
relating to the affairs of Black Deck
Of Black
Private
Deck
Limited.
Private Limited.
because handizivi especially zveku-administration and finance. Asi mukada kubvunza zve-implementation pamwe ndogona kubatsirai nekuti ndine ruzivo.
I have no knowledge of issues from the Department of Finance and Administration, but if you ask me questions pertaining the Department of Implementation, I will be in a position to answer the question.
Is it not your defense that you are the one who the two certificates from NASA and Zimra were secured by an expert?
That question may be taken again.
Is it not your defense, in your defense outline, that the certificates from both NASA and Zimra were obtained through an expert?
Hausi here umbo hwenyu hwamakataura kamagore enu muchitsanangura marambiro amunoita mhosva iyoyi muchiti macertificates maviri ekuzimbura nekunasa akawanwa kuburikidza namazvikokota.
Ngandabva ipapo ndichiti kondaigwanya ndiye aspect yandakaziviswa kuti ndiyakaingenjwa nedepartment.
I have answered that by saying that Kuntai Bkanya was the expert who was introduced to me.
No, who was engaged by Black Deck Private Limited kuti aite magwaro iwayo.
Kuntai Bkanya was the expert who was engaged by Black Deck Private Limited to prepare those documents.
The question is it your defense that the two certificates were secured through an expert?
Mubvunzo watika umbo hwenyu here kuti magwaro iwayo ari maviri akawanikwa kuburikidza namazvikokota.
Ichokwadi.
Confirmed.
And therefore
navamuchuchisi kuti magwaro iwaya akawanikwa sei sekuburitswa kwazviri kuitwa marambiro enyu amukuita mhosva.
Ndopa ndikuti inini the responsible person we-Black Deck Private Limited haapo munyaya nekambani yacho Black Deck Private Limited haina kuunza any representative kuti apindure zvizere nezvenyaya iyoyo.
The expert or the representative from Black Deck Private Limited is not here to answer those questions.
do you realize that in respect of the Zimra certificate and the NASA certificate, it was never your argument that your company was entitled to those certificates because it was in compliance when the two witnesses, the respective witnesses were before this court?
So I think it's
The questions can still put and you can refuse to answer the questions as they come. We cannot stop the prosecutor from putting to him something.
It was never your argument that your company was entitled to do those two certificates from Zimra and NASA because it was in compliance.
Munokwanisa here kupindura mubvunzo wabvunzwa navamuchuchisi wekuti imimi hamuna kumbobvira makazvipikisa kuti kambani yenyu yaifanira kuwana magwaro iwaya ari maviri kubva kuzimbura nekunasa nechikonzero chekuti yanga isina zvikwereti.
Answer the questions as they come. In other words, you are not being asked to answer the same questions many times. But if your answer is the same, there's nothing wrong in saying.
Mufakazi munofanira kupindura mibvunzo sekupiwa kwamunenge maitwa. Kana imimi musingakwanisi kuipindura sekubvunzwa kwamunoita munongozivisa daro kuti hamukwanisi kupindura mibvunzo iyoyo mobvunzwa mumwe mibvunzo muchingopindura mhinduro dzenyu chingoenda takadaro.
You understand?
Ndanzwisisa my lord.
So you can't have one answer for all the questions. Answer the questions as they come.
Hamukwanisika kuwangana mhinduro imwe chete pamibvunzo yese iri kubvunzwa munongopindura mibvunzo sekuibvunzwa nekuipiwa kwamuri kuiitwa.
Or you cannot answer questions in advance.
Kana kuti hamukwanisi kupindura mubvunzo wamuchabvunzwa pamberi.
So answer every question, even if your answer is the same. Just answer. Just
Chingopindura
respond.
mibvunzo kunyange kana mhinduro yenyu iri imwe chete munongopindura mubvunzo sekubvunzwa pamberi.
Okay, so it was never your argument that Black Deck Private Limited was entitled to a certificate, Zimra compliance certificate? What is your answer?
kunzika imama mambobvira makazvipikisa kuti kambani yaifanira kuwana certificate rekuzimura. Mindro yenyu mati ndeyekuti
ndazvinzwa zvavataura my lord.
I heard what you said.
Pamuchuchisi ndanchikumbiro kungoti mbichana ndisati ndapinda paanswer.
Mr. Mpofu, you don't have, sorry. It may be interpreted. I saw gestures.
May I be given an opportunity to explain before I answer?
Chido changu kupindura.
Mr. Mpofu, you don't need to seek permission to answer a question. Just meet the question as it is.
Zero yenyu msungu yekuti mungopindura mubvunzo sekupiwa kwamauya.
Yeah, inini vamabhauti ndakamira panapa zvandikutarisira nezvananchi livestock and poultry farming iri non-existent, and mapinziro andaita Black Deck Private Limited kwakuri kuda kukuonesai kuti ikambani iri registered and it exists. Unless makuti mazviona kuti Black Deck Private Limited is a registered company, maybe ndogona kugadzirisa because ndiri confused like I said papa.
At the moment, I was basing my defense on the issue that you said I used the fraudulent papers for a company by the name Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming to secure a tender. And I mentioned about Black Deck Private Limited as a registered company.
Now, can you answer the question now?
I'm not answering first.
Because the state is not going to go by your script.
Vamuchuchisa havasi kuzofamba nekuda kwenyu imi matauriro enyu amukuita.
Hongu handina kuregister zve-Black Deck Private Limited.
I did not register Black Deck Private Limited.
Now, when those certificates, two certificates from Zimra and NASA were secured, was your company entitled to those certificates?
Certificates ekuzimura nekunasa ari maviri aya paakawanikwa kambani yenyu yaiva nekodzero yekuwana macertificates iwayo.
Inini ndovimba kudaro.
I believe so.
So, on being arrested, did your company go to Zimra and say, no, we were entitled, here's the system, we were entitled during this period to secure those certificates?
Pamakasungwa imi kambani yenyu yakaendere kunasa ichinowaratidza kakuti tinokodzera kuwana macertificates iwaya.
Black Deck Private Limited haina kana kuti yakaenda kana kuti chii, but inini semaziviro angu Black Deck Private Limited haisati yambopinda munyaya iyi and haisati yamboita zvenyaya iyi so far.
I do not know whether Black Deck went there, but what I know is that Black Deck is not involved in this matter.
Mr. Mpofu, you are accused, you are being charged in your personal capacity. Oh. I think you are.
Pauzim.
Produced.
Makakwanisa here kuzononzwisisa kuti kambani yenyu yaikodzera here kuwana certificate iroro sezvamakaitaka muchinotsvaga umboo hwenyu muri musango muchitora mapikicha muri musango makakwanisawo here kuzozviita kukambani?
Inini izvo zvamukutaura ndaifanira kunge ndakaenda kuzimura kana kunasa. Ndiri muusungwa, nyaya iyi ndakaizivira ndiri muusungwa, handina kumbobvira ndaenda kuzimura kana kunasa.
You're saying that I was supposed to approach Zimra or NASA, but I was in custody. I came to know of this issue whilst I was in custody.
So, Ajune Kabisira will come and tell this court about it?
Saka, Ajune Kabisira ndiye achaudza dare pamusoro peizvozvo.
Ndekunge Black Deck kana yashedzwa nedare rino iri vaikonawo kuuya kuzopa umboo nezvenyaya iyoyo.
That would be possible if Black Deck is called to come and testify in court.
Do you know the company by the name Skywalk Enterprises?
Ko company inonzi Skywalk Enterprises inoiziva here?
Handizivi.
I do not know it.
Do you know how it got to be on your two documents that you submitted to during the tendering procedure?
Mukaziva here kuti yakazowanikwa sei pamagwaro enyu amakaisa imi
when you were submitting your bid for the tender?
Pamaisa kamagwaro enyu kuti mupiwe tender.
Inini Mpofu handisiri ndakagadzira magwaro, handisiri ndakasubmita tender, saizvozvo inini handizivi kuti yakapinda sei ipapo.
As Muslim Mpofu, in my personal capacity, I am not the one who prepared the document, and I don't know why it was included.
Now, correct that this was a very big tender that was won by your company.
Ndizvo here kuti iyi yaiva tender huru yakawiniwawo necompany yenyu.
Ipi yacho? Because kune livestock and poultry ne private limited, mukureva ipi?
Which one? Because there's livestock and poultry and then private limited.
Which of your companies won the tender?
Company yenyu ipi yakawina tender?
Sematauriro enyu vamabhauti company yakawina tender, imimi muri kuti Black Deck Livestock and Poultry.
From what you said,
Companies won the tender, not what the state is saying. I'm asking you.
Yakawina
muri kubvunzwa kuti company yenyu yakawina tender ndeipi yacho, kwete zvamuri kubvunzwa nami.
or Colenso Farm. Black Deck Livestock and Poultry or Colenso Farm.
So that is the company that won the tender.
Ndiyo company yakawina tender?
Wrong.
Yes.
In United States dollars, how much was the tender worth?
Kana muri madhora ekuAmerica, inoita mari tender?
87 million.
I think it is around 87 million. I do not have the actual figure.
It was a massive tender, isn't it?
But I have a bottle.
Correct that it was quite a big tender.
Ndizvo here kuti yava tender hombe.
Chokwadi.
Correct.
You said you never went to school.
Mati mimi hamuna kumbobvira makaona mukova wechikoro.
Handina kudaro.
I did not say that.
That I'm not that educated. Maybe to your level, Wamabauti.
I said I'm not highly educated.
What is your... Were you in a position to enter, to successfully enter into in agreement with the Zimbabwe? With your limited education, were you able to enter into an agreement with the government of Zimbabwe over an $87 million tender?
Imimi makazvimirira tichitarisa kudzidza kwenyu kwamakaita, maikwanisa here kuita dhiri re-87 million. Re-87 million government yeZimbabwe. Muri moka vakazvimirira.
Handiri ndoka kana, ndosaka ndisina kuita ndiri ndoka.
No, not in my personal capacity. That is why I did not read on my own.
Who was your legal practitioner who was assisting you with the interpretation of the with the provisions of the tender?
Ndiani gweta renyu raikuturikirai kana richikutsanangurirai zvaiva mukati metenda?
Tichino sign contract or per contract negotiation. Atina wenda na kweta.
When we signed the contract and when we were doing the contract negotiation, we did not seek the services of a lawyer.
Asi taka rely on the legal advice.
When we signed the contract and when? When we signed the contract and when?
And when we were doing the contract negotiations, we did not seek the services of a lawyer. Relying on the advices from the legal advisor from the Ministry of Agriculture.
How could you negotiate with the Ministry of Agriculture and also rely on their lawyer to advise you?
Nemhaka imimi manga makuita negotiations Ministry of Agriculture muchishandisa zvakare gweta ravo kuti rikubatsirei.
Tingangoti contract inini pachangu ne level yangu of education ndotoinzwisisa.
I was able to appreciate and understand the nature of the contract, taking into consideration the level of my education.
I see. So now that you say you understand the contract, in terms of Exhibit 4,
tichitarisa kuti mimi mainzwisisa a contract takanangana neExhibit 4.
What is Exhibit 4?
Exhibit 4, which is the general conditions of contract for the supply and delivery
My
of
Lord,
goods.
if my learned friend may be briefly excused, Mr. McKee.
The general conditions of contract now, the front page of that document, if you may read it to the court so that we can discuss about it. What is it about?
Mungakwanisa here kuverengera pekutanga pegwaro irori pamberi pedare kuti tikwanise kutsanangura kuti raiva zvei.
General conditions of the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe are represented by the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, and Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming, dated 16 November 2021.
And if you may go to the end of that document, I think it should be page 50, where there were signatures. Now, who was the supplier of the goods on page 50, on the last page before the signature?
Page rekupedzisira pagwaro iroro ndiani wacho aiunza mbudzi?
Yeah, Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming.
It was Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming.
And who signed that agreement with the company?
Akamiririra company yenyu imene ndiani akasaina?
Akasaina pa operations.
The person who signed as the witness on the position of sales manager is Tinashe Mpofu. Chimombe.
So, which company entered into this agreement with the Republic of Zimbabwe?
Company ipi yakapinda muchibvumirano ichi nehurumende yeZimbabwe as Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming.
Where is that written? On which page is that written?
Zvakanyorwa papage ipi izvozvo?
Ndingakudzora ipa page 16.
It's on page 16.
No, please.
Ndikutaura ndichiri pa agreement yakasaina.
I'm
Ndikuti
still on
uya
the
ipa page
agreement
16.
which was signed. That information is on page 16.
Which? Yes.
Pa item 29.1 mukanditendera kuiverenga.
Yes.
If you may allow me to read item 29.1.
Yakanyora iyo nekuti pama terms of payment kuti zvaidiwa kuti zviitike. Pari kuti ipo Black Deck PL. PL stands for Private Limited. Black Deck Private Limited will receive 30% advance payment and the remaining after delivery of goods to Ministry of Agriculture, and an advance payment guarantee from a registered commercial bank is needed. Saka apa vaishandisa Black Deck Private Limited nekuti pakudiwa a bank guarantee asi vanoziva kuti company imwe chete.
So
here they were using a Black Deck Private Limited because they knew that a guarantee was needed, but they knew that it was one company.
Is it not Black Deck Poetry Livestock?
I see Black Deck Poultry and Livestock.
PM.
Mama Paudi Bimagazit. Here trading name Black Deck Livestock and Poultry LP. Black Deck Private Limited. Asi daita tichiti PL poultry and livestock yet company yedu black trading name yedu Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming daizwa kanzi Black Deck LP sematauriwa mukuzvita imi.
Our company is Black Deck Private Limited, trading as Black Deck Livestock and Poultry. From the way you are saying it was supposed to be Black Deck LP, meaning Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming.
Is that on the front page? Is there any insinuation that there is a Black Deck Private Limited?
Yes.
Baba gwarore page yekutanga pane here pari kumboratidza kuti yakanyorwa kuti Black Deck Private Limited.
Aiwa, pagwaro rekutanga pakashandiswa a trading name. Asi name of Black Deck Private Limited.
On the issue of the bank guarantee, the ministry was clear that it was supposed to come through Black Deck Private Limited.
No, I go back to my question. Where is it written that there was an agreement between the government of Zimbabwe, represented by the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural and Development, and Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming, and then at the end it's written the supplier was Black Deck Livestock Limited, trading as Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming, and also trading as Colenso Farming. Where is that written on that agreement?
Kubva pachibvumirano ichi chamunga muchiratidzwa munokudari pakanyorwa kuti hurumende yeZimbabwe yakamirirwa nebazi rinoona nezvekurima reMinistry of Agriculture pari kunzi yakapinda muchibvumirano nekambani yeBlack Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming. Ndepapi pacho pazvakanyorwa kuti Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming also trading as Black Deck Private.
Contract E yaga draftwa ne Ministry of Agriculture.
I'll answer that question by saying that the contract was drafted by the Ministry of Agriculture. The person who drafted the contract is the legal advisor for the Ministry of Agriculture, who is Chennai Garisneta, and she was able to give her evidence in court.
Akataura manzwisisiro ake anenge ndio manzwisisiro angu.
She explained how she understood this, and which is also the same way I understand.
Accused, my question is very simple. Show us where it is written Black Deck Private Limited trading as Black Deck Livestock and Colenso Farming. Trading as a Black Deck, it will also trading as Colenso Farming. Where is that written? That
Private Limited also trading as Livestock and Poultry Farming or Colenso Farm.
Show us.
There is no way where it is indicated or written.
Is there a company called Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming in terms of the laws of this country?
Iriko ere company iyoyo inonzi Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming maringe nemitemo yenyika ino.
Ongu,
yes,
iripo.
Is there?
Where is that registered?
Yakanyoreswa kupi?
Black Deck Private Limited ndiyo inezita re trading as Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming.
Black Deck Private Limited is also the same company which has a name Black Deck Livestock and Poultry.
Answer my question. Is Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming registered as such in the laws of in terms of the laws of this country?
Pindurai kamvunzo urikuvunzwa wekuti Black Deck Poultry Livestock and Poultry Farming yakanyoreswa here muno munyika netitarisa mitemo yemuno munyika yekunyoreswa kumakambani.
Iri company yakazvimirira yega Black Deck and Livestock and Poultry Farming haina kuregister asi iri registered as a trading name ye-Black Deck Private Limited.
Black Deck livestock and poultry farming is not registered in.
Yes or no, is the Black Deck livestock and poultry farming, is it a registered company? Yes or no?
Register yakaberekwa ne-Black Deck Private Limited.
It was a company which was registered under Black Deck Private Limited.
Is Black Deck livestock and poultry farming registered in terms of this, in terms of the laws of this country as a legal persona?
Muvunzo kuti company Black Deck livestock and poultry farming yakaregistrwa here muno munyika tedza mitemo yemuno munyika yakazvimirira yega?
Ayo.
No.
Is Black Deck poultry, Black Deck livestock and poultry farming registered in terms of Section 29 of the business entities and in terms of business entities Act?
Company Black Deck private Black Deck livestock and poultry farming yakaregister here maringe nezvinotedzwa pachikamu chemutemo chesection 29 tinoona nezvemabhizinesi
pertaining to registration of trade names.
Tinoona nezvekurejistwa kana kunyoreswa kwema-trade names.
Ipapo ndichapindura inini nchiti Black Deck Private Limited yakarejistwa muna 2015.
Black Deck Private Limited was registered in 2015.
Ikatanga kushandisa zita re-trading name rekuti Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming muna 2015 ipapo.
And it started to use the name Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming the same year, 2015.
Asi haina kumbovhira yari.
Is it your evidence that the name Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming as a trade name is not in compliance with the law?
Saka umbo wenyu here kuti Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming.
Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming is not a registered trade name.
Guva 13 February 2020 saka endakazvizira muno mundare muno.
I came to know of it whilst I was in court that on the 13th of February 2020, that is when it was said
that no trade name shall be used after the effective date without being registered.
Saka mutemo ukajeka kaipapo wekuti hapana ma-trade name inofanira kushandiswa zuva iroro ranga rakatarwa nemutemo radaripa.
Ipapa handizive kuti mutemo unoti chiinenda kuisira mumakweta.
I do not know what the law says pertaining that. I will leave that maybe.
Used in conjunction with the registered name, which is a legal persona.
Zvakare zviri mutemo kuti trading name haifana kushanda yakazvimiririra asi inofana kushanda ine imwe yakarejista.
The basis of the objection is that my colleague is now arguing the law through the witness and asking that witness to testify on legal issues. He is not a lawyer. He does not have that knowledge, and he has said that examination on legal issues.
Application of the law, a trade name could not be used. Could only be used in conjunction with the name of the registered company.
Yes, sir, he's already arguing the law. He must reserve that for closing submission. He cannot get that unless he is asking the witness to speculate. He does not know anything about it. So for him to question him, on.
Is it not a fact arising from the law? That a company may not do that. Is it not something that arises from the law? That is, I think that is what you're saying. That I'm happy you did not hear the slip. But anyway, he's simply saying a company may, in practice, a company may not use a trade name unless it is using it in conjunction with the registered name of the company. Or you are saying, are you disputing that?
This question is, the law is clear that from that date, no company shall continue using unregistered trade name.
Yes.
The law,
Is that
knows
not
nothing about the law.
Is that not a fact?
No, it's the law. That is the law, according to him. And for the...
He's not asking him to interpret the law. He's saying, as a matter of fact, a company may not do this. In practice.
He's saying that is what the law says.
I see.
My
Mr.
issue is,
Mabaudi?
he cannot...
Mr. Mabaudi, what is your response?
Yes, my response is that the accused person has said that the company had started using the trade name in 2015, and he was aware that the law pertaining to Section 29 came into effect on the 13th of November 2020. And the follow-up question was that the Black Duck Private Limited was not, the name Black Duck Livestock and Poultry Farming was not supposed to be used without being registered. The witness is quite aware of all these issues. When it started, when the law came into effect, that trade names should be registered. And it is a natural follow-up that he has to answer why.
Okay, so your answer is you are not aware of that requirement.
metro yenu yati mimi manga mfukuziva nechishaidiwa izvi zvoti zviitwe.
Ndofunga mvunzo yacho yabva yasangana.
I think there's a mixture of questions.
Pekutanga ndatsanangura kuti ndisingazvizive ndakazvinzwira mudare muno kuti from the 13th of February 2020 a trading name aifanira kuregister.
I said that I did not know.
I have to rule on this. I am not sure whether I get the basis for the objection. It's either your client knows or it doesn't it? Can you not say that?
He had already said, because this position, that when it comes to issues of the law, I leave it to my lawyers. That was his response. Then
His knowledge of the law.
Yes. He said, I leave that.
Can he not be asked whether he knew about that requirement?
About the law, he cannot.
No,
unless he's being asked to speculate. Because the question is, the law is clear. Does he know the law?
Who knows? What is the law regarding knowledge of the law?
A witness is
what is the law regarding knowledge of the law in Zimbabwe? Yes.
Well,
what does the law say about knowledge of the law in terms of whether people should know the law or should know the law? What is the law in Zimbabwe?
there is a presumption that everyone
knows, isn't it?
Yes. But
Yes. So it's not an unfair question. But it's up to him to say, I did not know that question, because everybody is presumed to know the law. So on that basis, the work question is well grounded. The prosecutor is asking, is putting it to him that from the inception of that law, an entity could not use a trade name other than without referring to using it in conjunction with the resident. Because that is the presumption, isn't it? But he can then say, I did not know. I did not know. Then we know that his answer to the question is that he did not know the law. But you cannot say, there's no, in fact, the presumption is the other way around. You understand? The presumption is that he knows the law. Or everybody, all of us know the law. But a person is entitled to say, I did not know the law.
That is what the foundation that he laid when he drew the process.
No, Mr. A witness cannot answer questions in advance. Yes. Let him say that. Let that come out of him. That he didn't know the law, then that's. So answer the question. The objection is overruled. Did you or did you not know that legal position?
kunzi izvi maizviziva here zvanga zvataurwa nemutemo kakuti makambani anoshandisa matrading names anofanira kunge akanyoresa achishandisa makambani aregistered?
Ndanskaziva.
I did not know of such.
I see. Now, Mr. Accused, I will tell you why the contract that was ended was not valid at all. I put it to that you black deck poetry, black deck livestock and poetry farming was not legal.
Kwamuri mufakazi kuti black deck livestock and poultry farming yanga isikakwanise kuzvimirira zviri pamutemo kuti ikwanise kupinda
zvamutaura imi makuzwana
the contract.
My question is very clear. There was a contract between the Republic of Zimbabwe and black deck livestock and poultry farming. I'm saying the contract could not have been ended because the black deck livestock and poultry farming was not a legal persona which could enter into a contract.
Kuzvinzwisisa kuti company yaivepo asi mubvunzo uri kuti company ye-black deck livestock and poultry farming yanga isikakwanisi kuti inge ichimirira zviri pamutemo kuti ikwanise kuita chibvumirano nehurumende yeZimbabwe.
Ndikuzviramba.
I rebut that.
Nekuti black deck private limited yaka submita tender exhibit 14 ichitaura iyo kuti inonzi black deck private limited trading as black deck livestock and poultry farming ikasubmita ikawina tender iyoyo.
I rebut that in the sense that black deck private limited submitted a tender in which it was indicated that it is trading as black deck livestock and poultry farming, and it was able to win the tender.
Is the black deck private limited is it the one which signed the agreement of the Republic of Zimbabwe?
Black deck private limited ndiyo here yakasaina chibvumirano nehurumende yeZimbabwe.
Ndoda kuchekesa kuti
yes or no, did the black deck private limited sign an agreement with the Republic of Zimbabwe?
Pari kudiwa hongu kana kwete kuti company ye black deck private limited yakasaina here chibvumirano nehurumende yeZimbabwe.
Ipapo hongo kana kwete haishande kusina kutsanangura.
Answer my
yes question will not work.
Pakaitwa an award letter. Award also.
Kana chitsanangura chinombonyara mukamka.
Deck private limited, was it party to this contract or as it was reduced into writing? Does it feature anyway?
Zvikunzika company ye black deck private limited ine here chikamu pacontract pane here pairi kunyorwa nezvayo mucontract.
Ndakuratidza item 29.1.
I had shown you item 29.1.
Yes, I have the state has seen that it is written black deck PL, whatever that means. But in this case, on the face of it, is it not the position that the parties were the government, the Republic of Zimbabwe, and black deck livestock and private limited? There is no any other name which is given there.
Izvozvo ndazviona pakanzi black deck PL izvo hatizivi kuti zvinorevei henyu asi hapana here kunyorwa kuti hurumende yeZimbabwe yakapinda muchibvumirano nekambani inonzi black deck livestock and poultry farming.
Ipapo ndibvumirei vamabhauti handidi kutsamwisai panapa tikupindurana kuti wane chokwadi handiti kuti kuve necontract iyi there was some form of communication to say come and sign a certain contract.
I do not want to provoke you, but there was a
black deck livestock and poultry farming as being the parties to the contract.
Pane here mamwe mazita ari kubuda kusiya kwekuti black deck livestock and poultry farming ndiyo yaiva muchibvumirano.
Okay, ndichapindura ini nchiti Ministry of Agriculture ndiyo yakadrafta contract iyoyo ichishandisa trading name ye black deck private limited.
The Ministry of Agriculture is the one which drafted the contract, and they were using the trade name for Black Deck Private Limited.
And you were the representative.
ndimi mai vamakamirira.
I was one of them.
I was one of the representatives.
No, you were the signatory. The other person was a witness.
ndimi kai mimi
Tinashe Chimombe was a witness.
wacho aiva mufakazi Tinashe Chimombe.
Yeah, but he was a witness authorized on a black deck.
By the company of Black Deck Private Limited, and that contract was not going to work
With the laws of Zimbabwe.
kana anga makanzi munge muchisaina makamirira company yeBlack Deck Private Limited nemakai makazosaina muchiti Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming inova iri company isiri kutevedza mitemo yemuno munyika.
Livestock and Poultry Farming, it trading name ye Black Deck Private Limited.
That a Black Deck Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming was
It tender where imusaine contract. Tsamba iyoyo yaka addresswa to Black Deck Private Limited. Ndio yakati koka kuti tiende unosaina contract iyoyo.
on the award tender a document which
I think we have ventilated this enough, accused, and I put it to that you deliberately misled the government of Zimbabwe that it was entering into a company.
sika imimi makanyepera hurumende yeZimbabwe kuti yaipinda mubvumirano necompany inonzi iyo. If there's someone who lied, it's the person who drafted the contract. I did not draft it.
Whichever that you choose to go by was not entirely requirements that there was need for NASA certificate and ZIMRA certificate.
Taakuzvisa kwamuri kuti company yenyu chero zita racho ramunoda kushanda naro iroro yanga isina kukodza yemunyika.
Ipapo nchati nini vamchuchisi at which company you are talking of? You were mentioning of Black Deck Private Limited all along. We have changed into Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming based on the contract, according to you.
There was no interpretation.
He wants an answer from you.
Which had a valid, which of the three companies had a valid tax clearance certificate or valid NASA compliance certificate?
Imi mukamufakazi muri kunzi kubva pamakambani enyu ari matatu munokwanisa kungosarudza chero yamunoda kambani kuti ndeipi yacho yanga ine gwaro rekunasa kana rekuzimura raishanda.
About you said Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farming is a non-existent company. I misled the government of Zimbabwe into believing that it was inexistent.
Which clarification has come?
No, sorry.
Which of the three names?
Tati ndeipi zita ranga rine gwaro rekunasa kana rekuzimura raishanda riri up to date? It's Black Deck Private Limited trading as Black Deck Livestock and Poultry Farm.
In the name of NASA and ZIMRA, they were forgeries, but you were not the one who forged. It was.
Kuti magwaro maviri ekunasa nekuzimura makawa
kuti magwaro aya ndechokwadi
verifications to confirm whether the document
and NASA who said those documents are forgeries.
Singazivi nguva yese.
I came
Before the court are authentic. Is that what you are?
Ndakanzwa padare pano kuti magwaro iwayo hazi authentic.
I heard it in court that chinguva kachishoma chapfuura ichi mati mimi semaziviro enyu magwaro ewaya ndiri chokwadi.
Ndo maziviro angu asi padare muno ndakanzwa kuti
Yes, now that it was the organizations who are responsible for those documents, by whichever name tendered, submitted a bid, was not entitled to tell.
He says that was the evidence in court. Is perhaps it was not challenged, is it? Of the bid are authentic, and we are still in the defense case. Maybe you'll be able to
authentic.
Imimi chiri kuita kuti muti magwaro iwaya magwaro echokwadi chi.
Tenders kana asubmitwa kune ma stages.
What is making me to believe that those documents are authentic is that they are stringent.
Are you challenging the evidence from NASA and evidence from ZIMRA that those documents are forgeries?
Mpofu. Mafungiro
Black Deck Private Limited.
Moses Mpofu, are you saying witnesses for?
Ravainepa kuti magwaro iwaya ndekunyepa.
mavo asi inini handikone kutaurira pamusana pe Black Deck Private Limited.
Witnesses from ZIMRA said that after they checked in their system, and I cannot
Maybe one day want to exhaust questions on that area, then we can take just a break for 10-15 minutes.
Oh, I see. Yes. If I may wind up on this one.
Yes.
Now, are you going to call witnesses?
muchangeri mutagwaro iwayo ndechoka
inini pari zvino samuneni ndogona kuzvipindura.
I cannot call any defense witness.
Are forgeries because you have no evidence to contradict that.
You mean he has no basis?
hamuna umbo unoratidza izvozvo.
Inini handinombobvira ndati magwaro aya ndeechokwadi kana kuti ndeekunyepa, ndati inini handizivi zvakamira sei.
I never indicated that the documents are authentic or forgeries.
Now that you can challenge that these documents are forgery, tender was not eligible to bid. The company which bid for the tender was not eligible to bid because the documents it supplied, which were necessary for one to qualify, they were forgeries.
makubvumirana nazvo nawe tenda iyoyo anga ari ekunyepa ekugadzira ekubikira.
Inini ndemaziviro angu vamapaya kana risinganzwisisike kana zvimo zvakafanira munopiwa mukana wekuti madocuments akadai haana kumira tenda mufe makaawatu.
Scrutinized, and if there is a document which does not.
Now that we know that the two documents were forgeries, do you therefore agree with me that your company could not bid successively because it did not?
yenyu yaisakwanisa kuti inge ichiisa bid yayo nechikonzero chekuti magwaro acho anga ari asiri echokwadi.
Now that ndozvotaurwa nedare and company isina madocuments akakwana yagara haipiwe basa negovernment, and izvi ndazvizivirawo pano uyezve inini handisiri ndoawada matenda samosi Mpofu kune inonzi Procurement Regulatory Authority ino-authorize Ministry of Agriculture kuti ipai tenda kuna ningi. I think ndo chaivo vanhu vanogona kupindura izvo.
I came to know of it in court, and that as a Muslim of in my own capacity, regulatory authority, which is special.
Conclusively fake. Were you supposed to tender the bid?
So magwaro
Angari fake.
Firstly, I did not know that the documents were fake documents.
And zvese izvozvo zvirimo mutender document munazo mu exhibit 14.
All this is included in exhibit 14, which is the tender document.
Was your company allowed?
Haina kuvhunitswa.
It was not allowed.
So it was therefore not supposed to tender with with forgery, isn't it?
Yaisafanira kakuisa tender ichishandisa magwaro ekunyepa ndizvo.
Company
Tender document as well as submitting the tender document.
inini ndakatuma kunosaina contract.
Awarded the tender.
My lord, I think Mr. Madogo is about to run rioters. How much time?
30 minutes?
We work for 30 minutes, that will go almost 3 o'clock, and you're coming back for an hour. I was suggesting that perhaps you can just proceed up to 3 o'clock, then we adjourn for that.
We have called it a health break. Do you need any details? The court will adjourn for 30 minutes.
Get it.
Court will adjourn.
Done.
object.
You answer.